Yeah, great. Thanks. I just got the message through from Suzanne, so it would be great if we could do that. So intention-wise, I see we're recording. So intention-wise, I guess just to align on kind of the next steps forward for the coaches. And I heard a lot of us mentioning bandwidth and, you know, what I can fit in. So Matt and I are not coming to this meeting with there is something we're doing, but that's actually not what we're bringing to you per se. We're bringing to you, what do you want to do, and what do you kind of, so there's a kind of, so I'd love by the end of this that we've bashed around some ideas for what you'd like to do, that you've got the support you need from us to move forwards, and you're taking things forwards that are meaningful, relevant, and doable within your bandwidths.
Thanks, Sarah. To build, we're kind of bringing you two platforms. One platform is Coaching for COVID, and the other platform is International Coaching Week.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear your ideas about where you want to contribute, well, that's within your capacity, maybe within our capacity. We have some clarity around, so by the end of the call, we've got clarity around what we together are proposing that we could do, that we're all feeling that we're not offering more than we can do for ourselves, and we've got some clarity around who's doing what.
That's great. Maybe on top of that, I would add just I'd love to learn more about the possibilities of things that we can do, because I don't have, unlike Chantel, I don't have that many ideas. Or I mean, I probably could if I thought about it, but I don't have any right now. So I'd love to hear from you guys what are some of the things that you're seeing.
Yeah. And my sense is that the whole is greater than some of the parts.
Yeah. I mean, anyone else? Sorry, because I don't want to launch in. Anyone else? No. It sounds like we've got a good intention there.
Yeah. I'm thinking that perhaps I should paint a picture of what's happened with C4C.
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah, you should paint the picture around ICW, and then we should open the floor.
Yeah, good.
Okay. So with C4C, thank you for, I think, everyone has been on C4C. That's why we're here. And Sarah and I feel that we've got the pattern of the C4C Mondays now rolling pretty well. Thank you all for your feedback along the way, and we've tried to improve it week by week. And also many of you have given the feedback that actually there's opportunity out the back of this. So some of you have asked for, hey, I'd like to do some pro bono one-on-one coaching. Other people have said, I'd love to run some group coaching. Those are two ideas that have been shared so far. And we think there is potential for more to be done in that space. At the same time, Sarah and I are of the position that we don't want to be the people doing it and running it. We're thinking that we would love to support in terms of the platform, the administration, social media, email marketing. But we'd love you guys to step into the space within the capacity that you have. So maybe for you, it's like, I want to do this, but not this, that kind of thing. We see, unfortunately, really, that this COVID situation is rolling on. And so we don't see, in a positive way, we do see that the Coaching for COVID initiative keeping going. Sarah, you're saying something here? Can you speak it out?
Yeah. I just remember that when we were discussing about kind of group coaching, you and I just mentioned that kind of to support people who might be feeling a bit nervous about doing a group coaching, that it could be 7 sessions, maybe done with a partner, and it could take each part of the journey. So it could be realized, visualized as an idea. It doesn't have to work that way. Happy for people to push back. But it's just something Matt and I came up with on our heads, is that, you know, the first week you could talk about kind of realizing where people are. The next week, what do they want, you know, in the future, and kind of going through the model. And that might be a nice kind of way to do it, and a kind of good and a really good practice for you all in group coaching as well. And you know, I think you'd probably want 2 of you on the call at least, and maybe more. But yeah, yeah.
And Sarah and/or I would be quite willing to support with conversations beforehand, kicking around ideas about how to make it work best. That sort of thing.
So
do you want us to speak into the ideas now, or do you want to run through your views and then open it up for discussion? What do you want to do?
Would it be worth hearing about ICW before you go into ideas? Because there's ICW coming up next week.
Yeah.
And then because I don't want to give loads of ideas, actually. That was just one thing that I thought I'd throw in the mix to get people thinking and going, and it doesn't have to be that.
Cool.
But
would you like to hear about before we jump into ICW, though, I had a question, Matt, about, as we're still on the coaching for COVID thing. So you're talking about follow-up stuff, but is the Monday call going to stay steady as well? And that's with you and Sarah? Is that the plan? Or is that also in the mix of this conversation?
Okay, so yes and no. Yes, it's going to be steady, as in there will always be a Monday call. No, it's not fixed that Sarah and I are always going to be running that call. So it is in the mix that, hey, if you say to us, we'd like to be involved, we'd like to be co-facilitator, lead facilitator, very open to that as well.
Yeah, agreed. So thanks for bringing that up, Travis. So now next week is International Coaching Week. Traditionally, we've always run an event for the past 5 years or so. This year we didn't get going very quickly because COVID happened, and we found ourselves, you know, traditionally we've done something in person, and so we kind of got on the back foot. And a couple of weeks ago I said, we haven't done anything for ICW, and I foolishly threw my hat in the ring and decided to organize something. I say foolishly because it's probably part of the reason why I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed this morning. So AQ and I have had a number of calls and kind of pulled things together, and we have managed to get 2 extra events in the diary for next week, apart from the Coaching for COVID, which make up our ICW. Now, traditionally, I don't know if you know what ICW is, but it's a week where it happens every year, and where we celebrate coaching, we celebrate and promote the power, the impact of you know, coaching on a professional level. And so the kind of the hashtag, the headline of it is experience coaching. And so,
Sarah, it's a platform. It's not our platform. It's the ICF's platform.
Yes, it's the ICF platform. Yes. So this is an ICF initiative. So it's global. And so in many respects, these are not our events. They're ICW events that we sponsor. You know, we're a sponsor of. And that we're hosting. So we've decided to host a couple of events because we feel it's really important to continue to promote coaching, particularly at this time, in fact. And what better way to show that, you know, online coaching, virtual coaching can really still have an impact at this time. And so we're struggling a little bit at the moment with the final title of it. We were kind of going for something like Coaching Through Uncertainty. And actually, Matt and I discussed this morning, although I haven't fully agreed it with AQ, so I don't want to kind of run ahead. But Matt suggested, Imogen, please keep quiet.
Mommy, has made my lunchbox.
So we had thought that perhaps we should expand the Coaching for COVID platform and make the theme for ICW Coaching for COVID.
Yes, that's basically what I was about to say. Thank you, Matt, for taking over there. So if then the ICW theme is Coaching for COVID, it's very relevant. It's very, you know. So one of the things is on Wednesday, we're going to do an Introduction to Coaching event where if you would like to come along and support, we'd happily have you. It would be very much in the same vein as kind of on the coaching for COVID call. So it would, we haven't yet got the technicalities there, but it would be useful to have some coaches in the room just to support that in very much the way we've run in-person coach into to coaching. Yes, Imogen. One. She always wants to be involved. She told Matt today she's going to run the company in the future.
Awesome.
We said yes in 20 years' time.
Yes, yeah. So yes. So where was I, Matt? Help me out.
You were You were describing the ICW, the I2C.
I2C. The second event is an interview with Andreas, who's one of our alumni, but also works for Oman Insurance, about how they've been implementing coaching, what impact COVID has had, and so on. So so that we'd love you to come along. We don't necessarily need the support there in the same kind of way. So they're two, and of course the C4C Monday call will go on. So we've got a Monday event, a Wednesday event, and a Thursday event. So we were thinking if there was an initiative for you, it might be a good week to bring it on, but I'm aware it's very close, and so it doesn't have to be. But there's a framework in there for launching something if you felt like it was worth it. However, at the same time, I actually almost think it needs to be beyond that because of timing. So, but I'm just throwing it out there of things you can do within that week and what's possible. Matt, anything to add to what I've said?
No, I'm curious to hear how it's landing.
Yeah. Would anyone like to speak into it?
Yeah, so I'm still sort of at a very open stage. When you keep saying come along, I'm assuming you're saying virtually come along, as in not physically, yeah? So, yeah, I mean, I speak for myself here, but if you need to have support for your Wednesday, I'm available, as well as at this stage, I'm quite happy with the way that the Monday night sessions have been going. I think I've given you guys feedback all the way along. I'm not sure if I'm ready in the space to lead that, but I'm happy to continue with that. So I'm in for Monday and Wednesday.
Thanks, Kerry.
Can you just explain a little bit more about, because I didn't quite catch the whole thing with the interview with Andreas, didn't quite catch what is the input that is required from our side?
Zero
input.
Zero input. Yeah, just come along and hear it if you wish to.
And there will also be a virtual session with the code and.
Yes. Yeah. So all of our
do we have timings for these things already, like for the Wednesday and for the Thursday? If we have some timings that might be able to help me kind of just get the frame of mind and what my diary is looking like.
Okay, so on the Wednesday, the introduction to coaching event will be for 2 hours starting at 4 p.m. UAE time. And the start time for the interview on Thursday is the same timing, but it only is a 1 hour event. And yes, we would probably need to give you the sign up.
What would you be
through North Point, Kerry, yeah.
Do you have, I can't actually, I don't think I could be there to help, but I would love to maybe help advertise for it. And is there any, PDF or link or something like that you could send to us that we can help spread the word?
Yeah, we will definitely do that. We're working on the visuals right now. As I said, we were on the back foot with the organization of this. The visuals are in process at the moment. We should have them hopefully by the end of the working day, and we can send it out to everyone as soon as we have them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me just check that I'm unmuted.
Yep, you are.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to make notes and mute and unmute at the same time. I'm okay for the, especially the Thursday, because seeing that it's just us coming along, but also for the Wednesday. But one of the things that's also kind of like popping into my kind of agenda there is, am I then allowed to plug that in onto my calendar and see if any people from my organization would like to attend?
Yep.
Totally.
Okay. So it's not something that I then have to go off and do separately. It's something that is a part of what's already in that plan.
So Chantal, and for everyone, maybe some clarity when it comes to the Wednesday and the Thursday next week. These are things that are being organised by us, by North Point.
Yeah.
And for Wednesday, we're asking you if you want to come along and be part of the co-facilitation team and to do small breakout rooms in a similar way to C4C already. Separately,
happy to do that.
Thank you, Chantal. Separately, we're also asking you to consider, not just for next week, what would you like to contribute to beyond and building on C4C? So maybe it's one-on-one coaching you'd like to offer, maybe it's group coaching you'd like to get involved in, maybe there's something else you're thinking of that could build on what's already being done on the Monday nights. And we'd like to kind of facilitate the facilitation, that makes sense, or support you in whatever, in the ways that we can. The ways that we can is with administration, social media, emailing, that kind of thing.
Okay. So I'm a yes for a Thursday. I'm the yes for a Wednesday. I'm happy to help with breakout rooms and things like that. Mondays, I don't mind being a co-facilitator with someone else, but not taking the lead. I've just seen from like all the technical things that could be quite a pressure to have, but I'm happy to co-facilitate with anybody who's on, be a co-host should anything go wrong. But also I'm quite interested to see how I could do some smaller group coaching sessions along the models that you have, but rather than on an outer scale, more on an internal kind of scale, and invite some of the alumni to come and co-help if they have opportunity or availability, so that they could also practice their skills there. But that's probably where I'd be coming from. I'm not quite sure if, because people know me already in my organization, it's the comfortability is there, the sense of connection and relationship build, but going onto an external audience just straight off the edge without having any support or having you guys around, I'm still a bit hesitant on that one.
Hey, and Chantal, if you want to do something internally, we'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that as well.
I would really like that.
Happy.
Can I add to what Chantal said? I think, to me personally, there's value of one of you being on a call, even if it's mainly just for that 10 or 15 minutes instruction session. Because I think, especially as the founders, it also gives a little bit more integrity to North Point, etc. That's my opinion.
For the Monday call, you're saying?
Yeah, for the Monday call. I don't know, Matt and Sarah, what do you feel around that?
I mean, I'm thinking maybe one of us in particular should be available for at least part of it or all of it.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I see the Monday calls as being like the picture I have of one of those big circus tents with the main pole. Yeah.
And Travis and Matt will both agree with me that the second person doesn't really have the ability to focus much on the content. So I almost think that there should be almost a 3-man team in there, and maybe deliver the other two deliver different kind of pieces or something, just to and they take over from one another in terms of the back stuff as well, just so that if you're a co-facilitator, you're not just there doing the back stuff. Because Travis definitely was like, I can't give you any feedback, Sarah, particularly that or minimal, because I had my mind totally on the technicalities. Yeah.
And I hope you did a great job, Travis.
Thank you. It was a team effort.
Amazing.
You picked up well, Travis. You picked up very well. It makes me feel more comfortable knowing that one of you were there, even if it is just for part of the session. And I quite like the team of 3, that there's a backup if needed.
Yeah.
I think that also, just because having the fact that the calls are also supposed to be, you know, kind of keeping us engaged and refreshing, that is quite nice to see that that can be, you know, one person, one part, second part, third part. So it gives you different areas that you can go and impact. Versus just kind of like trying to figure out, okay, whose hand is up, who's chatting. So I do think that that can be quite time consuming. So if somebody keeps a hold of the chat, somebody keeps hold of the breakout rooms, somebody does the hand lifting and whatever's, and then there's somebody speaking into the content. So you can break it out into commencement, breakout room 1, breakout room 2, and then maybe, you know, ending off the session. That sounds
right.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am about the coaching of COVID stuff. The stuff I'm interested in is more coaching around after the Mondays. Like I really want to do that more. The place that I'm most comfortable, it's a no-brainer for me, is to do one-on-one. That's great. But where I'd like to grow is in group coaching. And so I'd love to work with Matt and Sarah, particularly about what you think would work. How do we get an on-ramp to that? I would like to coach in a public group, ideally that comes from the Monday group and says, we want more. How do we get more? And I'd love to be a part of helping that happen. And so, and keeping it within the ecosystem of this Coaching for COVID call, right? So, because it by definition is cross-organizational, cross-geography. So that's really exciting to me to be able to coach in that space. And so I would need help to do that, but that's something I'm most interested in.
Anyone else?
Hi, Matt Silva here. I would love to be in a Wednesday and Thursday call as well, and in case if I have to be or to help out in the breakout room or co-facilitate, I'm happy to do that. And even in the Monday call, like Travis have done, it would be interesting to learn and get hand on this virtual, how to organize, and I think that's a way forward. I would love to be. In particular, if any individuals, who came for, who would come in the future or who have come in the past for the individual coaching, I'm willing to do that. To give more and to have an impact for them. So count me in all the aspects.
Cool. Yeah, I think ideally, just to clarify, I would, in an ideal world, shift to doing more follow-up group coaching and then not as much Monday. I would rather put my attention on that than coming on the Mondays. That's how I feel.
I'm also going to just quickly ask a selfish question here, seeing that we're talking about, potentially doing some pro bono client coaching, one-on-ones or group, whether that's self-led or however. Selfish question. Could this count towards my ICF hours?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm in.
Hey, and not only that, Chantal, Sarah, you can give me the details, but ICF have just shifted the balance of paid and unpaid.
Yeah,
30.
I think it's 30,
because of COVID.
Yeah,
because
it's
of COVID.
30.
If you apply in the next year or something, it's or within this year, it's up to 30. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just a couple of hours away, and obviously the paid from the organization at the moment is kind of being put on a halt. So to try and rack up my hours, I definitely feel I speak into what Travis is saying. I'm happy to do some group and individual coaching, especially if people have reached out and said they're interested and you might not have the time to do that. I'm happy to do what fits in my diary.
Hey, and Chantal, if you do stuff internally, it counts as paid.
Yeah, no, I know that, but at the moment, because we're on a full lockdown, our hotels are being used as positive case hotels, so I can't actually at the specific moment go into the hotel. Everything's virtual, and so it becomes kind of not really officially paid anymore.
If I can add on to, sorry, Silva,
No, carry on, please, Carrie.
I was going to say, if I can add on to both Travis and Chantal, I'm also working towards my ACC with a few hours that I need to still clock up. I noted the 30 hours pro bono because I've got probably 100 hours pro bono at this stage. And I'm actually also doing a team coaching certification at the moment. So, but I don't have teams to practice with. So I'm open to both. And I have, because I'm freelancing, I obviously have a fairly open sort of schedule. So I'm happy to help out on either of those.
Great, thank you, Kerry.
Okay, so
hey, sorry, Henny, please.
Sava, did you want to say something? Because I was.
Henny, we haven't heard from you, please.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so for me, I don't think I can do the Wednesday because I've got work commitments. So that's just something that's I'm doing at the moment. Thursday is more likely. From memory, I don't think there is anything for that time. So I probably can attend that. I'm happy to help out with the Mondays, whether it's facilitating. I guess I would need some practice in terms of leading it, but I'm happy to assist you guys. And similar to Chantal and Travis, I would be very much interested in sort of opportunities, how we can serve other people in terms of group coaching and along with other people. So I think that's where I can kind of see myself in terms of assisting.
Thanks, Henny. Selva, were you going to speak?
No, I think it's the same what Kerry have said. I'm also working towards ACC, and yeah, I mean, as a selfish thing, you know, I can use also to use the opportunity to block in pro bono hours. So yeah, feel free to put me in more pro bono hours as and when needed, please.
Okay, thanks, Selva.
Daphne?
Daphne, yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay, regarding Mondays, I need to really, I need to work out on something because Mondays seem a challenge. Wednesday and Thursday, yes, I could work that. And myself also, I'm working towards my ACC. So yeah, I'm open to pro bono sessions or exchange sessions.
Yeah, I'm also open for peer coaching, but just one point, I was recently on an ICF familiarization thing, and you have to have permission to log people's details, name and hours, etc. Otherwise they won't count. So just if we're doing our pro bonos or whatever, just to be aware of that.
And Kerry, just to let you know that if you're using the version of the agreement that we now have, maybe you've got the old one, has a bit on the end of the third page where you ask right at the beginning, can I use your details for my log? So just check your third page, and if you haven't got the latest version, just ask me.
Yeah, I don't think I have the latest version.
I don't have the latest, thanks.
Okay. Hey, and Kerry, I just want to speak to what you're saying earlier on. I would want us to recognize there's a difference between team coaching and group coaching.
Yeah.
Team coaching, the team is working towards a collective goal, and group coaching, there's a bunch of individuals all working towards their own goals. So actually, group coaching is more similar to facilitation in many ways. Sarah, you were going to speak, I think?
No, I was just agreeing with you on that. But, I just wanted to bring in I just wanted to bring in kind of how we take this forwards then. It seems that there's a lot of people interested in moving forwards with some level of group coaching, perhaps some individual coaching if it comes up as well, but most people would like to try out some level of group coaching. And so, you know, how do we take that forwards? Because obviously everyone's time commitments, but yeah, I wondered if the coaches had any ideas of kind of what they think they would need or how they would like to help us to move it forwards.
Yeah, Sarah, that's a good question. What do you need and what can you offer? Yeah.
I think actually the way that the Monday calls have been running is a good way to kind of start, because it focuses on specific topics and it doesn't kind of overwhelm and overload. So from a content perspective, I think that's in a group coaching session, if you take them through step by step, like the journey, like we're doing next week, that could be an interesting one to see how you could do sessions like that, but with bigger groups. but breaking it down week by week.
Bigger groups or smaller groups?
Like the group sessions, like 7 to 10 people. You could even do it one-on-one, but then one-on-one you might get to your end of the journey much quicker than when you're going with a group. So I'm not quite sure. I think the content that you have is there, and it can be very easily broken down into specific subjects as to where the need is. So I don't think that there's much that I'm foreseeing right now that is needed, other than just a little bit more of the content that we could use for those sessions. So the models, you know, a PowerPoint slide here and there that comes from you guys as to.
So we'd be happy to support with slide decks. No problem.
I think something that I would need to do the group coaching would be a list or some kind of administrative help around who has maintained interest, who would be potential people interested in this. And I'm imagining they would come out of the Monday group. So it's that transition from Monday group to an outside group that I need help with, and I'm very unclear about.
Yeah.
And what I would hope then is that I could then take it from there. I could actually individually reach out to them. And the goal, in my mind at least, would be to create a group of committed individuals who are willing to meet weekly or bi-weekly, you know, for a certain amount of time, you know, to say we're actually going to tackle some real issues, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to commit to this. That's what I would hope as a group coach, to come out of a 3 or 4 people maybe from the Monday meeting.
Yeah.
What I'm picking up from this, thank you, Travis, is that, and I'll use you as an example, Travis, but it could be for anyone. Yeah. It could be like, hi, I'm Travis. This is a bit about me as a coach. This is what I'm offering. You send that to us, and then Selva, you say, hi, I'm Selva. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm as a coach. Here's what I'm offering, some pro bono coaching. You all send it to us with a picture and stuff, and then we send it out to our list, and maybe with your permission, even on social media, and with a form that people can click and sign up, and then we collect the information from people. So basically, you guys are offering services, and then we are publishing your services.
Yeah, this sounds a really structured way to move forward and connecting dots.
Yeah, I think that's good. I would like to make that first available to the participants of the Monday group.
Yes.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we went out.
Yes.
Can I speak into this a little bit? Because on our course check feedback form, as you know, it says, are you interested in something else? And as coaches, obviously you've answered that very much from the perspective of, I'm interested in giving pro bono coaching, giving individual, but other participants who are not coaches have answered it very much with, I'm interested in receiving small group coaching or individual coaching. And we have actually had some people already respond to that. So we have some names of people who are interested in those things. And I think as we go through International Coaching Week, and it sounds like this is an initiative that perhaps will be beyond ICW.
It does.
And actually, I think that makes perfect sense. It almost makes me feel relieved to think of it in that sense. But as in terms of delivering that, then when we get to ICW, I think we'll get more names on that list of people who might be interested in taking it forwards.
Yep.
So we're hoping that our coaching for COVID as a whole will benefit from the fact that we're doing ICW as well, and there'll be more people who then want to come along for the coaching for COVID Monday calls. And as an off ramp to that, small group coaching and the like. Yeah. So we already have a few names of people.
Excellent, that's great.
And so kind of my question has been, what do we do with it? And I think that's part of the reason why we're having this call, is because I've been like, what do we do with those names now? and there's not a large number of them yet, but there is a number of them. So yeah.
Could we go in your weekly survey? I don't know how you'd word it. I'm thinking while I talk, but almost if you could fine tune what the interest is, like what is it that they want coaching for? You know, is it career shifting? Is it, I know it always comes back to personal at the end of the day, but is it more personal coaching? What is it?
Could we group the topics then, is what you're saying? You know, maybe there's 3 or 4 people that have the same kind of issue.
Yeah, which might form a more natural group initially, you know, and maybe after that it would change.
But, you know, good coaching pulls out that stuff, you know, they might not even know, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just when it's in a group and you've all got
assumptions. Yeah.
Kerry, my assumption, my thinking on that is, let's not change the initial questionnaire because it just says, do you have interest? Mm-hmm. We go back to them once they've expressed interest and ask them what they want.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense.
Agreed, especially if they've expressed the interest. And you could do, if you're doing like the little video clips of us, kind of, this is who I am, this is what I offer. And then what specifically do you foresee you would require help on? That might help a little bit more to identify.
Oh, wow. Chantal, thank you. I hadn't even thought about it being a video, but I do like it being a video. Because I can now imagine Travis doing it as doing a video.
Sorry, I just assumed it's a video. Sorry,
no,
guys.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if you want to do a video, it doesn't have to be, not at all. But if you want to do a video, go right ahead. Because also then say, because Travis has got a desire to work with people from all around the world and express who you are and the kind of person you'd like to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is basically what we talk about when we talk about niching.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the more you put yourself out there, the more you'll have people say, that's the kind of person I want to work with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's worth saying also that Travis may want to do it by himself with a group of 3 or 4, whereas other people might want to partner up for it because they may feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And that's okay too, if you feel that that's where you'd like to start from at the very least, you know. Mm-hmm. Kind of partnering up and kind of working with one another if you feel more comfortable with that, or not. But just putting it out there.
So it could be, hi, I'm Matt and me and Sarah are offering this.
Yeah.
Or Sarah and I.
Such bad English.
Don't be so pedantic. Where are we now, guys?
I feel like at least one takeaway is maybe present, or I'll give you a write-up at the very least, which says, here's Travis as a coach, you know, and put that in your bank. And at least that's one takeaway.
I think what we need to do is send you guys all an email with headlines, or with, so it's basically like, we'd like a profile picture, we'd like, here's who you who are you as a person? Who are you as a coach? What are you offering?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that good, Sarah, or anyone else? I'm seeing lots of nodding going around.
Yeah, no, I think that's very structured and gets us started.
Yeah, that's a good place to start, I think, too. And then what I'm hearing is that there's a need to kind of get some clarity for next week, because that's a good time to start something. Or is it a good time to get more context and then start something the week after?
That one. Okay. Yeah. I came into the meeting thinking there was a possibility it could fit into next week, but it would be tight. Okay. And now of the mind it's too tight, and you know, and it would give us a chance to have more contacts as a result of next week. So hopefully.
So what I think we're hearing at least is that you can confidently offer both pro bono individual and pro bono group coaching, knowing that there are some people who can do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Cool.
And then when we've got a group of both people and coaches, specifically for me who want to do group coaching, I think it'd be great to have a pre-coaches call.
Yeah.
Maybe to get some alignment on how we're going to do it and that kind of thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. 100% agree.
I also, just to add to the group coaching thing, I quite like the idea of pairs, purely because it can almost be supervisory in nature. You can give each other feedback and develop, you know, post-course, develop each other that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Could we go back to C4C, the Monday night next ones.
Yep.
I have a question. Did I hear that you're thinking of doing the journey step by step over the next X Mondays? No, good.
No.
Okay.
You're
Because I was
crossing it.
trying.
That was our proposal for the group coaching, to lead
Okay.
people on a journey
Potentially,
of 7
yeah.
weeks, to spend time reflecting on each one and taking an action for themselves, and then moving on to the next stage.
Okay, happy to hear that, because I was like, how do you do that and come out with an action, etc. Okay.
However, we are looking at the journey this week as a whole.
Yes.
Okay. And can we ask what other topics you're thinking of bringing up in future weeks?
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask you.
I'm asking you.
We still have things like TED and the 6 human needs. Which are kind of not our models, but they're ones that we present. Matt the Iceberg, perhaps.
we still have MPM Interacts.
Yes, MPM Interacts. So bringing in the other people. Is there anything else? I think that would lead us to the end of kind of our main models.
Yeah, and then we were thinking maybe of bringing in people who are in our circle. So Holly, for example, has strengths coaching. She could bring something around that. If any of you guys have anything, Chantal, maybe you've got something from your toolkit.
Oh, I would be happy to do the EQ stuff. Super happy to do that on a pro bono as well.
Yeah, so there you go. So I think once we've kind of seen out our models, our main models, instead of going back, we'll try and bring in other people and their expertise.
So I think I might have missed some of models. I have a sense you might have introduced other modules and other cohorts. So I'm just wondering additional information, because I know you bring in like strengths with some of the coaching now, and you bring in you've got not Marco and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not sure what all I'm missing,
Yeah. So essentially, the only thing you're really missing is that in your cohort, we didn't do the Strengths Finder as one of the niches.
Okay, I'm strengths coach. I'm certified as a strengths coach, so that's not a problem.
So there you go. So basically, our niche models, in the final kind of elevate, we do niches, and those niches could change. Bye, Henrietta. Bye. Thank you for being here.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just have another meeting to rush to. Sorry.
No problem.
Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Thanks, Henny, and thanks for all your input.
Bye.
So we in Elevate, and it's probably a good idea that Henrietta's kind of gone off, because she's got this to look forward to yet. She's not done Elevate yet. We do 2 coaching niches, as you know. So we may have done teams with you and Dave's pretty much been there the whole time.
The sales
group. I was in Dave's group in group 3, so I think we missed the detailed niching after that. So, we can take that offline. I'm happy to.
And Kerry, we've done different niches almost every time.
Yeah. So that what I was getting to is that those niches can change depending upon. So as we grow as a company, we're hoping that people like yourselves can come back and say, I do this niche and I would like to also present something. And there's a place for that. So we are not seeing that every group will have the same niches every time. It's just that it's 2 different niches that we present, just to give an understanding of kind of what different niches could look like. So Chantal could come back and bring EQ, for example, and everyone has different niches that they're working into. Perhaps team coaching might be something you could bring back potentially at one point. So
thanks.
Cool. So we're at the end of our time. I think actions that we're taking away, one is for us to communicate with you, here's what we'd like you guys to fill in some ways, like a form, in terms of what you'd like to contribute. And then for you guys to do that. There's also something on us as well around asking for your input on what specifically you'd like to be involved in on a Mondays. Sarah, help me out here. What else? Or anyone else?
I mean, it would be great to, I mean, most people, apart from Henny and someone else, said that they could come along on Wednesday. So that's, you know, that's good. And they're willing to help. Travis, I think you couldn't come on Wednesday.
Yeah, I can't come on Wednesday.
So Henny and Travis couldn't come on Wednesday, but most people, so there's maybe a kind of, just once we've got the stuff straightened from that, for us to kind of say what kind of help we're going to need in that session. And then there's a coaches call, and maybe there's a decision on a coaches call before we move. Well, there's the kind of putting it out there, but then eventually there's a coaches call.
And just to kind of, from my mind, to close the loop, what I can imagine happening is, be it an individual or be it a group, once we've got the group and we've got you and the two are matched up, it would be like we hand it over to you to sort it out, coordinate the timing and the medium and that kind of thing. We leave it to you, rather than us trying to get involved too much and making it more complex.
Yeah.
Cool. Shall we complete, or is there anything else left to say?
You can complete, Matt.
Who'd like to kick us off?
I can go first. Yeah, I feel excited and relieved both. I think that I guess in order to be complete, I can say that I think that I'm excited in the ability to keep supporting and growing, hopefully, in doing group coaching. And yeah, it's good to be a part of the active alumni as well. It's fun to work with all of you in this space. Yeah.
Thanks, Travis.
Selva here. I can go next, please. I feel more connected, and then feel happy that we have come up with some ideas and generated some ideas, and looking ahead with what value I can add as a group. We can add to the people out there. Yeah, with that I'm complete. Thank you.
Thanks, Selva.
I can go. Yeah, I'm excited at sort of the possibilities that exist, is the feeling that I've got, and also feeling that there is this connection, that we want to all support each other, and as well as support, NP and NP's profile in a meaningful way that can do good. So yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Thanks, Kerry.
I'm feeling optimistic. And I feel also a little bit more relieved knowing what, where, how, when, kind of just a little bit more of the details. Obviously, look forward to more details coming up, so that we could help support advertise as well. So yeah, with that, I don't think there's any action I need to take right now, other than just kind of maybe see where I can fit in a few things into the plan for next week. But yeah, feeling excited. Thank you.
Thanks, Chantal.
I'll go next, Daphne. Yeah, I'm feeling much more connected and got a bit more clarity. But my action, I need to look at the possibility of joining you on Mondays, as I think Mondays are booked. So let me just see how that goes along, and then I'll get back to you. With that, I'm complete.
Thanks,
Thank
Daphne.
you, Daphne. So I feel grateful and connected and thankful, and to be complete. It's just wonderful to have you all here, giving of your time, your energy, your commitment to kind of coaching, and to us and to yourselves. So thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. I feel humbled by the amount of service that's being offered here. To be complete, I think what I mostly want to have said has already been said, so I won't say it again. But to add, I really got excited by the number of people who not only have got their ACC now, but who are almost getting their ACC now. I heard it on this call. And I want to let you also know that we now have our second PCC in our community, which is Paul. So it really feels like that as a community, we're growing in a really clear, demonstrated way. So yeah, that was it. I'm complete. Thanks, everyone. And we'll share the video.
You. Yeah, we'll share the video.
Great.
Brilliant, thanks. And
Awesome.
if you could share the details with the signups and things, that would be great.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We will.
Yeah.
Hey, and Chantal, I'm going to get Suzanne to reach out to you so you and I can have a call.
Yeah, perfect.
Good. Okay.
And Kerry, we still need to have a call.
See you all.
Perfect.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.